Plastrow, a leading manufacturer of irrigation products, has developed their own installation practice for a beneficial and efficient implementation of the subsurface drip irrigation system. The use of subsurface drip irrigation systems has recently gained momentum around the world. With subsurface drip irrigation, water and fertilizers are applied directly to the root zone. While maintaining a dry soil surface, it reduces the weed growth and less plant diseases may occur. The system saves considerable labor and eliminates wear and tear of drip lines. Plastrow is proud to demonstrate in this video the required phases for a successful implementation of the system. The initial step is the marking out of the beds in the field where the drip lines will be embedded, followed by a deep soil ripping. The ripping will ensure a uniform embedding depth and allows future uniform tillage depth without any damage to the embedded drip lines. There are two different methods for embedding the drip lines. The first, the one-pass method, is particularly suitable for thin-walled drip lines. The drip lines are laid out and embedded into the ground in one pass. When all the drip line on the reel is unwound and buried, take care to ensure that the end of the line is not buried by halting the burying operation in time, so as to connect the end of the line to a new spool. The connection between one spool and the next is done with Plastrow barbed coupler, according to the diameter and wall thickness of the drip lines. In the second method, the work is carried out in two passes. First, the drip lines are laid out on the field according to the marked beds. Then, at the second pass, the drip lines are embedded into the ground. The embedding of the drip lines is done when the earth is dry, and careful attention must be paid to ensure that the depth of the pipes remains uniform. Drip line embedding work requires a team of two workers, a driver and an assistant. The embedding proceeds at a speed of about 5 km per hour, according to the soil type. After the drip line embedding has been completed, it is time to prepare the trench for the sub-main lines. The trench should reach a constant depth of 35 cm below the embedded drip lines. As the trencher will cross and cut the drip lines, special attention should be taken that the trencher blades are always sharpened so that the drip lines are cut smoothly to avoid dragging and stretching. Now the PVC pipes for the sub-main lines can be placed along the trench and joined. The plain surface ends and sockets should be cleaned carefully using a primer compound, then spread with PVC glue and immediately joined together. The pipes must be joined together with cement in order to ensure that they are sealed hermetically. There are two alternatives for continuing to prepare the sub-main. The first one, when the trench is located at a right angle to the drip lines. Drilling holes inserting gasket seals and inserting the flexible supply risers with Plastro's head connectors can be performed outside the trench. The submain with the flexible risers is now placed carefully into the trench by several workers. Care should be taken to prevent clods of soil from rolling down onto the submain. The second alternative, when the trench alignment is not at a right angle to the drip lines, all the work has to be performed inside the trench. Drilling holes, inserting gasket seals, and inserting the flexible risers. Special attention is required to ensure the proper spacing measurements between the drip lines. In order to connect the drip lines to the flexible risers on the submain, the drip lines must first be uncovered along the sides of the trench. This has to be carried out carefully using a flat-shaped metal rod. Any sections of the drip lines that have been damaged when the trenchers cut them should be removed. The drip lines are now joined tightly to the flexible risers using Plastro's unique barbed insert coupling. To avoid kinking the tubes when curving the riser from vertical to horizontal direction, this section should be covered partially manually, while the coupling is left exposed for a later final inspection. Now the submain line has to be connected to the field control unit on the main line. For the connection section, either a polyethylene or PVC pipe can be used. Once the submains are connected to the field control valve, the submain line has to be flushed out. The flushing water should always be directed outside the trench, either by using a flexible fire hose or installing an on-ground flushing valve. When the submain flushing has been completed, all the drip lines should now be flushed and checked to make sure that water flows through every single drip line. The last step in installing the system is assembly of the flush-out manifold in the same way that the submain line was prepared. Trenching, joining the PVC pipes, inserting flexible hose risers, and finally connecting the drip line ends to the risers. To guarantee longevity for the subsurface drip system, the installation has to be carried out precisely. Success will depend on a heightened attention to all the details as mentioned. Plastro's subsurface drip systems have been introduced in a wide range of field crops, sugarcane and fruit orchards. The system has been proved to be highly effective, contributing long-term benefits in yield increase and produce quality. Plastro's, a perfect world of irrigation.